Chapter 9. Air and Water. Get into. Perform the following activity. Materials required: a clear plastic cup, a small plastic tub, and a piece of newspaper. Procedure: Number 1. Put some water in the tub. Number 2. Crush a piece of newspaper and push it to the bottom of the clear plastic cup. Number 3. Turn the cup upside down and push it to the bottom of the tub. Number 4. Pull the cup straight up and pull out the newspaper. Number 5. Observe whether the paper is wet or dry. Conclusion: the paper stayed dry because air took up space and did not let the water enter the cup. Every empty space is filled with a mixture of gases called air. It is all around us, but we cannot see it. We can feel air when it moves. Moving air is called wind. The heat of the sun causes wind to blow. Composition of air: air contains 78% nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and 1% is contributed by other gases, including carbon dioxide. Apart from gases, air also contains water vapor, dust particles, and even germs. Nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21%, other gases 0.97%, carbon dioxide 0.03%. Oxygen is needed by animals to breathe. It is also needed for burning. Carbon dioxide is used by plants to make food. Importance of air in life. The importance of air lies in the fact that it is the source of life on Earth. There is no life in our solar system without it, as seen on other planets. The uses of air and its applications include: Number 1. Essential supplier of energy. All living beings, including plants and animals, are dependent on air for generation of valuable life energy. Number 2. Air is a conducting medium for sound. We can hear the sound of speech, cry, noise, etc. only in the presence of air. This is because air is a good conductor of sound. Without air, we do not or cannot hear sounds. Info mine. Even musical instruments make use of resonance and bass with the alteration and combination of air and sound. Number 3. Air maintains temperature on land. During summers, when there is abundant sunshine, the temperature rises rapidly on the Earth's surface, but slowly on the ocean or sea surface. This is because solid surfaces heat faster than liquid water surfaces. So, air, which gets heated on the soil, rises, and cold air from the sea surface moves towards the soil surface, thus minimizing the rise in temperature. Number 4. Air brings monsoon. We have rains in the rainy or monsoon season. This occurs due to the currents of wind, air across the Earth's surface. Lack of wind can delay monsoons and thereby deplete water levels for drinking, irrigation, and other uses in our daily lives. Number 5. Air helps in flight. When a bird flaps its wings, air moves faster over its wings and body. This reduces the surrounding air pressure and lifts the bird higher into the sky. The same rule is applied to fly a helicopter or an aeroplane. Number 6. Air helps in drying. Land gets wet by rains and it is dried by heat and air. The air on the immediate wet surface is very moist. So, these moist layers of air are replaced by less moist or dry layers of air. The new dry layer on the surface takes up moisture from the wet surface and the cycle continues till the surface dries. Thus, air helps in drying by maintaining the humidity. Even our clothes, when washed, get dried in the same manner. Number 7. Air helps in normalizing temperature. A piece of ice melts due to air, and a hot piece of metal cools due to air. Here, air acts as a heat conductor and tries to bring these materials to the normal surrounding temperature. Hence, the phenomenon of ice melting and metal cooling is seen. Number 8. Air is used to generate electric energy. Wind is used to generate power by the installation of wind turbines. These turbines rotate under the influence of the wind and generate electrical energy. This electric energy is non polluting and can be generated at any place on the earth for domestic use. Infomine. Due to the gravity on the earth, gas particles remain in the atmosphere of the earth and do not escape into space. Find and answer. How is air helpful in the water cycle? Water. Water is one of the most precious resources on earth and is necessary for all living beings. We use water for different purposes like drinking, cooking, bathing, washing, and many more activities. States of water. Water is present in all the three states of matter in nature as solid, ice, on mountains, as liquid, water, in rivers, seas, oceans, etc., and as gas, water vapor, in the air. These states can change into one form to another with change in temperature. We can understand this through the given chart: ice, solid; melting, heat; freezing, cool; water, liquid; evaporation, heat; condensation, cool; water vapor, gas. Water cycle. The total amount of water on the earth is relatively unchanging, and it has remained about the same since our planet's formation. The water is constantly undergoing process of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and accumulation. This journey of water is called the water cycle. The water cycle is also known as the hydrologic cycle. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation, accumulation. Evaporation. Heat of the sun causes evaporation of water from rivers, lakes, and oceans. The water vapor formed rises and mixes up with air. Evaporation is an important part of the water cycle and occurs continuously throughout nature. Infomine. Plants require water to make their food, which they obtain from the soil. Plants release water from leaves, which evaporates into the air. This process is known as transpiration. Condensation. Water vapor evaporates from water bodies in the air. It condenses and changes into tiny droplets, and then clouds are formed. Precipitation. When these droplets become so dense and heavy, they come back to the earth in the form of rain, hail, sleet, or snow. Precipitation is responsible for bringing back the fresh water on the earth. Accumulation. When water falls back on the earth, it gets collected in the oceans, lakes, or rivers, or under the ground. Water is continuously recycled on the earth, from water bodies to the sky and down to the land, and transported back to the water bodies again. Importance of the water cycle. We use water for drinking and for other purposes. We have limited water on earth, and if the water did not come back to us through the water cycle, then we would not have fresh water. So, we should use water judiciously and avoid wasting water. Up for review. Explain the following terms. Number 1, evaporation. Number 2, condensation. Number 3, precipitation. Number 4, accumulation. Info mine. Pure water is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Find and answer. How much of the Earth's surface is covered with water? Take a look. Air. Composition: 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% other gases. Importance: essential supplier of energy, conducting medium for sound, etc. Water. States: solid, ice; liquid, water; gas, water vapor. Water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and accumulation.